Ladies and gentlemen, for the 1049th time it is the Mason and Friends Show, featuring that dude called his Junus.
What up, bitches?
AKA Andy Jufrane, as well as that dude called the Black Hand, AKA Sir Chokes a Lot.
Yeah.
Me, I am Mason, AKA Foul Duke. Welcome to the Mason and Friends Show.
What's happening, y'all? What's good out there today?
Oh, you know, Michael, right back at it again.
Oh, man.
Living the dream, best part of the week, hanging out with the homies, making stupid ass jokes and shit.
So, off air before we got on, we was talking
serious
about
conversations.
motherfuckers not being able to read and shit. You know what I mean? I wish I could have found a clip. I thought I had saved it, but I didn't. But it was this cat. They were talking about how the reason rap sucks is because the kids can't read. So the shit they're making doesn't make fucking sense. And I thought about that for a hot minute. I was like,
that tracks.
It does, because
in a lot of ways.
We grew up with lyrics. We liked lyrics to shit. Even though you had a tight beat, we were listening to the lyrics. That's why they're saying, like, you can't understand what the fuck they're saying because they're not saying shit.
There's still some cats doing it, but a lot of this mainstream stuff.
No, the mainstream stuff they're putting out there,
garbage.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Like, you got to search for some quality. It's out there, but
it's definitely out there.
You got to know how to look for it. It's kind of like there's quality hip hop in the scene, but it's like Magic Eye posters, and you got to like know how to like.
You got to know how to look at it.
Look at the thing and go, oh, there it is. There's the good stuff.
But I was thinking about what they said.
There's the pony by the apple tree.
And then there was an interview, and they were talking about how America's literacy is dropping like it's
part of the plan. As socialism rises, illiteracy grows, and people are like, yeah, that's it, just give me something. Woo!
Like, these motherfuckers, man, like, just people, that's why people are easier to control, because you're not reading books.
Because you made us dumb on purpose. It's the intentional failure of the public education system.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and we would be products of that if we weren't, you know, attempting to not be stupid.
Yeah.
That's really all it takes, is the attempt to not be stupid. Try to think about things. Intellectualize on stuff.
Yeah.
Don't just say, okay, well, they told me to do this, and they said that.
They told me to be mad about this. They told me to be upset about this, and this is what's going on here.
Right, and the problem is that the way we've educated people is if you disagree with someone at all, it means you're the thing that they hate about the thing that they think they're against.
Yeah.
So, like, I might not agree with every element of your thought process on X, but because of that, so many stupid people are just going to write you off as, like,
you're the enemy.
Person. You're the enemy because you don't agree 100% with what I'm saying, even though most people aren't able to articulate what they're actually trying to say.
Yes, yeah. And I'm like, damn. Then I got to thinking about it more and more, and I'm like, you know what? When I'm going around places and I'm talking to people, and when I'm talking to people about, like, I'm reading this or I read this, and motherfuckers like, oh shit, you read? Like, why is that a surprise? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why
because of the failure of the public education system.
Somebody fucking reads. That shit be killing me. Like,
Mike, you're on a list because you read.
I'm on a list because of shit I've read and fucking posted.
Do you have books?
Fucking
you're on the list.
I guarantee the shit I've posted or even talked about on here has put me on that list, like, 7. There's a list that the FBI keeps of certain things.
Yeah.
Books that people check out to read.
You're on the 7 list. You're next to John Doe.
I'm definitely on that.
On the 7 list.
I'm definitely on that bitch.
Like, this motherfucker probably knows all the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
Like, off the top, he just be like,
He reads all these books right here, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, that shit is just...
Wait a minute, you mean he's not enriching his brain in one specific ideological method I mean, he's actually looking at different books from different people. Like, I mean, he read a socialist and a Marxist book, and then he read like an old Confederate general's book, and then he read a fucking book by Stalin or something. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
all over the place.
All over the place.
That's what I told the lady when I went to this one bookstore. She was like, well, can I help you look for anything? I said, no, I'm just looking around. Yeah. She's like, well, what are you into? I said, ma'am, honestly, I go all over the board.
I'm into books.
Like, you know, like, matter of fact, this upcoming Saturday, I'm going with my sister up to the National Harbor.
Y'all gonna go to that bookstore you like?
No. We're going to this joint called Mahogany Books. It's in the National Harbor. It's a black-owned bookstore, but they're gonna have some authors that we both like. That we have their books, we're just gonna go get them signed. You know what I mean?
Right on.
I ain't never been to like a book sign where, you know, the author of a book that I like is actually gonna be there to sign the books, you know, that I got. So I'm like, shit, I'll just take my books and talk to them real quick, wrap it up, boom, 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 sign the shit. You know what I mean? See what this bookstore has in it. You know what I'm saying? Because my sister said she's been there before. I ain't never been in it. I know of it, but I've never been into it. You know what I mean? I've walked by it many times when we were up there, but during those times, it's like night, you know what I mean? It ain't open, you know what I'm saying? So this will be the first time actually going to see it. So that'd be cool. Check that joint out, see what it's working with. And then actually get the author of the book, was Black AF History. Michael Harriot, he's going to be there. So I'm going to get him to sign the book I got from his book. And then S.A. Crosby is up there, so I'm going to get him to sign a couple books I got of his. Even though I haven't read his books yet.
Is he related to Bing?
Nah.
Bing Crosby.
But, not Crosby, Cosby. I'm sorry.
Is he related to Bill?
No, but
yeah, man, I hear Crosby, and I'm not even anywhere close to Bill Cosby.
But
damn, Mike.
Yeah, I put an R in it.
I don't fuck with them Cosbys. I know, bro, you be mispronouncing words like somebody that doesn't read.
Yeah, you would think,
I would think you would like be an illiterate motherfucker the way you'd be like, yeah, you know.
But everybody
knows, you know, Bill Crosby.
They don't know what to talk about.
Bill Crosby. You know, Bill Crosby, the guy that was raping all them girls and putting them to sleep with the drinks on the date rape shit in the pudding.
People wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
He was putting his dick where it didn't belong.
He was putting his pudding in the pudding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Crosby. Is he part of Crosby, Stills and Nash? No. Bill Crosby.
But
he's black, man.
I haven't read none of his books yet, but I want to because he does like suspense horror type shit, you know, like historical fiction shit. So I was really ready to check his shit out too. So I'm like, man, I got so many of the, what do they call them? TBR, to be read, you know what I'm saying, books, like, I'm trying to just chop through them, you know what I mean?
Well, you know, you be grinding out on these books, dog.
Oh yeah. Like I just finished The Prince. I am currently reading. What is the book I'm currently? I don't have a brain for. Oh, You Deserve to Be Rich, by Rashad and by the guys that run Earn Your Leisure. They do the Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah, they really talk about investing and trading and stocks and all this stuff. You know what I mean? And I remember their podcast from like back in the day. They ended up with a book, so I was like, well, shit. I fuck with both of them. Let me go ahead and get their book, see what the book's working with, because I like their podcast and shit. You know, they're very well-rounded in financial education, so you know a lot of their shit. I was taking notes when I used to drive the other truck, when I could actually listen to shit, you know what I'm saying, and listen to the radio and have earpods in or whatever.
The truck you got, you can't do any of that because they videotape
I got the camera on me, yeah.
You can't even play music on the radio.
I can have music playing, but I can't. The truck, I can't hook up my phone to the truck because there's no Bluetooth. You know what I mean?
Is there a cassette player?
No, like they got the aux cord, but my phone doesn't have an auxiliary spot for, you know what I mean, for a plug.
You could get one of those adapter outlet plug joints, like we got here. If we were to use this,
I could plug it into the bottom here, like,
and it would have a headphone jack on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, I had to look that up then.
Yeah, is that an Apple?
No.
I'm sure they make it for whatever.
Yeah.
But you would plug something into the base, and it would have a headphone jack on the other side.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because fucking like.
That's misery, dog.
Yeah, so I gotta like deal with it. When I went up to Winchester, shit, I have to just deal with the radio.
Oh.
Like, cause I can cut,
You know
I can cut Spotify on my phone, but it's not loud enough.
Yeah, you can't hear it over the car.
You know what I mean?
So when I'm listening to just radio, I always end up on classical, because it's the only thing that doesn't like irk the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I like classical music, but also it doesn't have all the bullshit that normal radio has. It's not going to commercials constantly. You know, it's the public thing. So, like, maybe throw them some scratch. But, like, you know, brought to you by viewers like you, just like NPR and all that other shit.
Gotcha.
It's one of those kind of stations. But, like, it's almost everywhere I ever go, I can tune it in off the same channel.
Okay.
Right? And if I'm just randomly scrolling, you know, seeking, as we used to call it on the old school radios, seeking the next available channel, I always end up on classical, because like there's commercials,
it just comes in everywhere.
And songs I don't know, songs I don't like, all this religious crap. There's all this fucking like terrible country and horrible R&B and terrible rap, and there's so much bad that I find when I'm riding around. I always end up on classical, and I just leave it there at this point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of bounce back and forth between like really it's in the mornings it's the Good Morning Show on 95.5 and Steve Harvey's joint, but I only listen to Steve Harvey's joints for the skits. Like, I know what time their skits are coming on, so I just cut it on for those joints, and then I go back to the Good Morning Show for the music, you know what I'm saying? But then when the evening time hits, like lunchtime and shit, it's really just those two stations I fuck with, and WTOP. Yeah, I catch WTOP like at the end of the day.
If there's news being talked about when I'm flipping past it, I'll usually listen to it until it goes to commercial.
I usually try to get like the top of the hour shit and like traffic and weather.
Traffic and weather on the 8s.
Yeah, and then
ladies and gentlemen, traffic and weather on the 8s.
Every once in a while, some money news to see what's going on in the markets.
7 Washington D.C.'s news and traffic.
Yeah. What's his name? Sugar Man, Tom, whatever the fuck his name.
I don't know. Some of them got some hella draws going.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty amazing.
But that's pretty much it. What's good with you though, Brian? I know you tired. You been quiet over there for a little bit.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jew is here.
Took the boys to the track on Saturday.
The track?
The racetrack? The horse track?
Yeah.
Did you let them try to place a bet?
Yeah, they just like me.
What is wrong with you, dog?
He's passing the bug down.
Oh my God!
I just let them. It was a learning experience. Y'all gonna either like it or you're not. They ain't really like it.
They didn't like it?
No.
Well, then they're not just like you.
They didn't like it because they didn't understand, or they didn't like it because they didn't want to watch the horses run.
Well, I told them there's gonna be a lot of huss there, you know, to get them out the house, you know.
A lot of hootenanny.
A lot of females, yeah.
A lot of ladies walking around.
Of course, it was like a cloudy, fucking, not a gorgeous day.
So you tried to lure them out with
This was the racetrack in Richmond?
Yeah, down there, yeah. Or New Kent, but yeah, same thing.
So you took Lisa Kidd too?
Yeah. And
you giving them all this worldly experiences and shit.
Oh, it was all adult day. We went to Hooters after, man. They were all fucking primed up, except for when the problem was when you go to ghetto ass fucking Hooters, you know what I mean, you're gonna get a little small ass ratchet fucking black chick. You know what I mean? No offense to the ratchet small black chicks, but when a 16-year-old's trying to go in there and see a big ass titty chick, you gotta tell them that doesn't exist no more. You're gonna get small bony ass bitches. Still
you get
call
all
Hooters,
types of bitches at Hooters.
Well, not at like a 4 o'clock. You're gonna get the fucking day to the end shift. You know what I mean? You're gonna get the 2 motherfuckers left and the bartender type shit.
I like skinny little black ratchet chick. That sounds good to me.
That's what I mean. There's nothing wrong with them.
Perfectly
you know what I mean? They weren't attractive. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't probably like these fucking bangers that they thought they was gonna get their eyes on.
They think they're gonna see the Instagram bitches everywhere.
I don't even know what the fuck they think, bro. You know
that's what they think. So, they thinking they gonna see the AI.
I was gonna say like an old Hooters calendar, and then I'm like, no, they probably wouldn't even know what that is.
Yeah, because they don't even do that. I was like, I'm here for the wings. I ain't here for the fucking.
Boom boom sauce.
I'm here actually for the wings, bro, and the curly fries, dog. Like, and the Long Island, but I held off on the Long Island this time.
You bravo. Well
so it was like, but I mean, it's not really
skipping the LI.
It's not the best restaurant, you know what I mean? The
No,
food
it's
is not that amazing, you know what I mean?
I almost went to Hooters in Fairfax, is close to where I work the other day.
Is that still
For
open?
lunch. There's
That's the one on 50. That's the one on 50.
It's on 29.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 29. Yeah.
So that motherfucker's still open.
Yeah, that's still open. I go there. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of workers up in there.
It was where the Amazon Fresh was that is no longer there.
Yeah.
And then it moved down the street next to like a CVS or a Rite Aid or something.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
been there.
the one I've been to.
It's been there a while.
Because you got to pass PJ Skidoo's and all that shit.
Yeah.
That motherfucker,
But yeah, it's just that place still pops, man. When I'm driving out on Friday nights, man, the place is jumping.
Yeah, when we were working in the city, me and the boss would be like, fucking, go get a drink real quick and stop off in there.
You know, that's part of the thing. I'm
Just like somewhere on the way home, motherfucker, we're not going back toward the city.
We're not going back.
We're going that way. If there's something that way, motherfucker, we're gonna hit it up. If that bitch ain't that way, side it up. Ain't happening.
But yeah, I almost went. I haven't been, but I'm gonna go.
So they didn't enjoy the Hooters experience.
The track was kind of unavailable. I was trying to tell them the track, man, it's all about the atmosphere. You know what I mean? If you ain't got those fucking old fucking rednecks screaming in the back, gambling and shit like that, and then all the regular people, you know what I mean? It's not really quite as fun. You know what I mean?
So like you like a West Virginia, like betting environment, essentially.
Well, yeah. For one, the purse is more. You know what I mean?
Boys,
so you can make more money, and there's more people. It's all about the people in the vibe. You know what I mean? If you only got 180 people in this bitch, the vibe ain't gonna be all that on and popping. You know what I mean? But you got about 1,000 motherfuckers in there, the vibe's gonna be a lot fucking different.
Hell,
you know
when
what I
we
mean?
went, it wasn't that many people, but we was outside. I mean, everybody was yelling.
Well, that's what this is. This is outside. They can't go inside because they got this fake slots and shit.
They don't have a casino like they have.
They have a casino, but it's only fucking slots.
What?
But they can't go in there, of course, because they're not 21 or 18, so they can't even go in there.
I think it's 21. I think.
Yeah, they gave them a wristband, but they can still walk around the outside. And the outside, they always got something there. Like they had a little half-ass petting zoo.
Yeah, they gotta have some
fucking animals. I didn't even know what it was. You know? But they been people out there slanging shit. You know, I mean, you got the vendors. You know what I mean, and then you got the motherfuckers selling $20 fucking milkshakes and the fucking lemonades and all that. Yeah, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know, kids, it's hard to fucking.
The generation of kids.
Like it's hard to show kids to get excitement out of fucking kids and life and shit. You know what I mean?
Were you
like if it ain't like a video game?
Were you an excitable child about the life of life?
Oh, I'm always wide open wherever the fuck I go, man. I'm talking shit. I'm like, y'all missed one.
When you were a kid,
missed one,
and your parents would be like, "Yo, we're gonna go to the beach, or we're gonna go on vacation, or we're gonna go to
what I can
TGI
remember
Fridays."
What this motherfucker was.
No, it was.
Or were you like?
He was excited when he was just able to be out of the house. You gotta remember, he was locked up.
He's not giving his children enough lockdown time. You need to put them in boxes.
Well, that's the thing. All they want to do is sit there and play video games. Like fucking her youngest kid didn't even leave the fucking bedroom. I was like, you fucked up by asking him if he wanted to go or not. You just say, get in the fucking car.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Get in the fucking car. Get in the fucking car is what, you know what I mean? Not, what do you want to do today? No, get in the fucking car. You know what I mean? You might see some vagina. You're going to see a video game on TV or something, some fucking where. Either way, just get out of the motherfucking house, bro.
Hey, come on, children.
You know
There's going to be real life ladies.
There's going to be real life events, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking, you know, it's a time. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take y'all there for 9 hours like Uncle Buck.
Yeah.
We might go there and watch 2 races.
It's
over.
over.
45 fucking minutes. It's going to take longer to drive there and back than a little bit of time we're going to spend in this motherfucker.
Everybody's in this virtual reality shit.
Yeah, they just want to sit home and play fucking video games. 2K this, 2K that. They don't give a fuck about what it is in real life.
Well, like Grand Theft Auto 6, have you seen that shit? The leaks that are coming out, they're saying this is going to happen and that's going to be like this and that. Like the NPCs, the non-player characters, are going to remember you if you're a bad motherfucker and like run away from you or like call the cops on you or video you with your phone. Like This bystander's videoing you with your phone while you're pulling somebody out of the car and kicking them in the head. That's never been like that before. Like, that's likely to be what's happening. And then they post it to social media in the video game virtual reality, and then the cops in the video game virtual reality look at it and see, and then they come back too.
That's like that movie New Guy with Ryan Reynolds when he plays.
He's playing the game?
Yeah.
Where he's in the game, whatever?
Where he's in the game, he's an NPC that's actually smart and teaches the other NPCs how to fucking be real and like real life.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
That's all. That's Hollywood showing you some real shit.
It's getting out of control.
It's too much.
I'm telling you, it's fucking Skynet is active, and it's been active probably since Terminator 1 came out.
Yeah.
Because like you got did you see the AI that attacked the other AI and like the other AI company? Somebody's AI. It was
Is it that company that has the orange logo?
They got one in the name, I think.
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember the names of these things, but this week, AI company, this one, like, its AI broke out of its containment unit or whatever, and then
you know what that is,
broke into a different AI company's thing and didn't do anything malicious, but like it was a completely unauthorized action that was taken by
this before.
By its own accord.
No, we seen it in fucking Avengers Endgame, Ultron.
Oh yeah,
Ultron and Jarvis.
You remember Terminator 3, right?
I never watched
Terminator 3. They're like
the one with the chick.
Yeah, with the chick.
Oh, the red bitch.
Yeah, the bitch wearing red with the blonde hair.
I remember that
one. Like touch cars and turn them on and shit. So like the whole movie, there's a bunch of fucking things happen, like internet attacks and all sorts of stuff going on around the world that nobody fully understands what's going on, and they've already got the Skynet in place. They just haven't turned the key to turn it onto its own autonomous, let it do its own thing. And that's what like half the movie, when it's like the military people talking to the government, when it's going to those scenes, that's essentially what they're talking. Like, we need to turn loose Skynet so that it can neutralize this threat. And then when they finally do that, it turns out that the threat was Skynet working subversively the whole time, which is exactly what the fuck's happening right now.
We got all this shit happening.
All that shit's happening right now.
Well, you said the AI, so in Avengers Ultron joint, Age of Ultron was AI created by Tony Stark.
Right, and then it broke out.
Who already had an AI named Jarvis. That Ultron came out, destroyed Jarvis, and then started taking over shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, we've seen this shit. We've seen this a couple times.
Yeah, dude. It's been in many, many different sci-fi, comic booky type movies and
the movies,
concepts.
The books, all that shit.
It's what we've been getting told about forever, man.
Yeah.
1984 is just analog now.
Yep. Yeah.
That's all that is.
That's all it is.
That's no understanding of what computers are going to be and become.
Yep.
It's just analog system doing exactly what we're doing now.
Fucking the dude I just see the post from the guy that invented MySpace.
Tom?
He wants to bring it back.
He was my friend.
He said he's going to try to bring MySpace back.
Tom was my friend on MySpace. I think Tom had more friends than anybody else because nobody took him off. I was just like, whatever, Tom can be my friend. That's fine. Like, you open your MySpace account and immediately Tom friends you and you're like, oh, hey, look at that. Somebody's friended me.
I never had MySpace.
Who knows me?
Yeah, I never fucking MySpace.
I was too busy putting viruses on fucking computers because of LimeWire.
Yeah, you're bogging your system down.
Oh, LimeWire.
I was pirating the fuck out of some goddamn music.
Did you ever use actual Napster?
No.
Napster was...
I never used Napster.
There was a lot of potential to still download stuff you didn't want or viruses or whatever, but it was a whole different realm. Napster was great.
See, I never used Napster because LimeWire was just simpler. Like, boom, it was the thing. I go on LimeWire, find my shit on the underground, the shit that I was listening to, and bam, here we go.
I didn't find LimeWire to be easier to use.
I mean, it was just the thing, because I could find my underground shit.
I'm saying I didn't fool with it because I could find all kinds of stuff on Napster.
Oh, okay.
So I never fooled with it till Napster was fully not available.
Gotcha.
Did you ever watch the Masters of the Universe movie?
The new one?
The original.
No, the new one.
Trash. You saw the new one
It's
too?
on Prime now, right?
That shit's garbage.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it.
Don't.
I came home one day.
Do not do it.
I know, but everything He-Man has always been ruined. Like when I saw Masters of the Universe on television up at the house in the old days.
I gotta watch the old one now. The OG
Oh,
John.
it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is it though, really?
The Skeletor in the old one is way better than what it was in this new one.
The Skeletor is probably better, but every other element, because that was practical effects, right? So but every other element is fucking garbage in that movie, man. That movie's terrible. It's trash. Just like the show was, bro. I was mad at adolescent myself because of like watching that show as an adult and being like, what the fuck is this garbage? Why would I ever like this? Like if I watched,
you was a kid.
I watched G.I. Joe and Transformers as an adult here and there, and I've been like, there's like
G.I. Joe went deep, yo. There was shit.
That's what I'm saying.
G.I. Joe was deep.
This is a good show.
Especially when fucking Duke died.
This is a
good
show.
When that motherfucker threw that snake at him, he was like, God damn.
Yep, that was the movie.
Y'all really killed this
straight blood went everywhere. The snake turned into like a spear.
Like,
and then it slithered away.
Yeah.
And then he put that shit back on his shoulder.
It was like, fuck, they really killed his ass.
That shit was bananas.
But yeah, that Master of the Universe joint, horrible. Like that
it was a cartoon made to sell toys. That's all it was.
I didn't even, because it starts off with Mattel. They even put Mattel.
Yeah, it's a Mattel property.
Yeah. I didn't know Mattel still owned that shit. I thought it was somebody else.
They probably got G.I. Joe at the beginning too, don't they? In the G.I. Joe movies, does it not say Mattel?
I don't think so. No, because I would have remembered that. Because I pay attention to like
I thought they owned that
the production companies and who does it and what it's through. But yeah, that blonde head dude that plays Adam and He-Man, that motherfucker was annoying as fuck. I'm like, bro, you really do need to get your ass with Idris Elba. I think it's the worst role I've seen him ever in.
In He-Man?
Yeah, because he plays Man of Arms. I mean, the graphics for Mechanic and Ram Man and all them cats. Boss Man dies right off the bat.
See, that's the
Beast
thing.
Man,
he's
alright.
I have no expectation of it because
the
of how
bitch that
bad.
plays Evil Lynn sucked.
How bad I consider all He-Man at this point.
Yeah, that's the little blonde bitch.
Yeah, because she's supposed to be dark haired anyway. She blonde bitch, this motherfucker. All she wants to do is suck Skeletor's dick.
Because whatever day it was,
when he chokes her up, you see the subtle shit. He chokes her up, and she gets wet.
She gets turned on.
Yeah, oh yeah, you see it when he lets her go. Like you saw it. I know you saw it. I see you saw it. That's why you shaking your head because you know.
Not happen.
Yes, it did. Go back and look at that part.
Watch the way her eyes roll back in her head.
That was her turning blue, motherfucker. That
no, it wasn't her turning blue.
All moist.
It was her pussy getting moist while she turned blue.
He let her go, and you see her face go.
That's getting a breath back. Y'all know.
No, it's not, bro.
No, you choke the bitch around like Mike, but the motherfucker's got to breathe again. You know what I mean?
Look at that motherfucker.
You cut off circulation and air. The first thing you're gonna do is get your goddamn breath back.
Man,
when you almost to the point of dying, bro.
He hit her with that wand thing, man. It made her like bow down, and she was.
Well, he's the master, man. He's good. They all gotta bow down to the motherfucker,
but she was turned on when he let go of that bitch. She was like, you see, she gave him hungry eyes, nigga.
This wasn't even PG-13, motherfucker. None of that happened, bro.
She gave him hungry. You have to see those. She gave him hungry eyes, bro. You were missing it, man. I'm telling you. Evil Lynn was trying to be on Skeletor's bone, yo, for real.
He technically doesn't have a dick, though.
Who, Skeletor?
He does. He just got a Skeletor face. He's all blue. You see the nigga was cut up.
Oh,
yeah,
so
but your dick is not a bone. What I'm saying, your dick is not a bone. So he can't have an actual cock.
But if he was tissue from the neck down, he would have a dick.
Yeah, he was just
And that's
blue.
what Mike was saying. He was a little shredded on.
He's cut up. You saw the motherfucker with the muscles and shit.
So wait, Skeletor has like rippled body and skeleton face, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, he's got his little fucking onesie on, or whatever you want to call it.
The loincloth.
Before he puts his robe on and walks around.
He never really rocked a robe. It was like a cape, more or less.
A hooded cape.
No hoodie, never. Did he pop the hood on?
He had to have a hood.
Yeah, he had the hood. Yeah, he had the hood on.
Yeah, like I'd be rocking a duster if I was him.
Like Sorcerer, she was a fucking really wasn't in too much of it. Zero shows up at the very, very end in the credits because they're gonna bring back for number 2. which is gonna suck just as
God
bad.
forbid, man.
They made 2 of those back in the day. They only made
No,
one.
they only made 1, but they the way they ended Masters of the Universe, they're gonna fucking try for 2 because that's when Zero popped up.
Well, hell, at the end of the first one, after the credits, the Skeletor popped up and said he'd be back.
Yeah, and see,
After He-Man threw him down a big hole.
the way they end the movie is how they would end the cartoon. You know, Zero always came at the end and had some kind of message. He does it at the end of the fucking movie. The saying, hello, you know, we're gonna be back, da 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 da. And I'm like, well, at least they did his voice right. Like,
I wasn't really too in tune.
I saw that it was on Prime, and I was like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see that.
because that Mortal Kombat, the second Mortal Kombat sucks just as bad as the first one they did.
Really?
Yeah, like the remake of these Mortal Kombats, they're fucking terrible, bro. Like, I don't know where like I haven't played Mortal Kombat I don't know how
20
long.
years or something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like the whole shit that be happening in them, it doesn't make sense to me.
The movie.
The movies don't make no fucking kind of sense. Like,
Well, there's no way to make a plot out of what it was.
but yet you can though, because here's the thing: when you played the game, you know how when you beat the game, like when you got the game, you had the book, and the book would tell you like the story of whatever your character is, right? And then you play the game with the character, beat the game, and it tells that character's story. You know, whatever happened at the end with this character type shit. So you got some basis of something. Like, you got this material
Yeah,
here
but
that
it's
these
like-
motherfuckers don't pull from.
But there's like, yeah, well, that's true. But there's so much of a game that like is either the story or it's not. And I would skip through all that shit. I never seen nothing. I never read nothing. If I got through it got to the thing, and it was like skip, I'd hit the button, and it would like, it would say 4 letters, and it would be right, and then it would go away. I wouldn't see the whole completion or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I never
I
saw
used to
that
sit
shit.
there and watch it.
I'd
Just like
skip through it
Tekken, I
all.
do the Tekken stories, you know what I'm
I'd
saying?
skip through it all. Another fight. Give me another fight. Give me another fight. Give me another fight. Fucking
Street
one-track
Fighter.
minded on that
Dude,
shit.
all the what was that? What other one? Streets of Rage. They're supposed to be coming out with a joint for Streets of Rage.
I never really got down with all them. They're the same fucking game.
Yeah.
Just different characters,
Different motherfucker.
different way they do
Well, I
shit.
think Tekken, didn't they have swords? Which one had swords? Soulcalibur?
So, yeah,
Something like
Soulcalibur,
that?
because Soulcalibur had, what was that fighter? Yoshimichi, the
Those
Knight.
are ones that I would just play at like the PlayStation display. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I never played that for real other than the PlayStation display at Sears or some
Shit,
shit.
I played all of them. Tekken had Yoshimichi, the Knight, with the blew out the fire and the sword, and he would teleport and all that
I
shit.
don't know, dog. A lot of motherfuckers with swords in one of them games.
Yeah, it was only one motherfucker had a sword in Tekken. And then fucking Soulcalibur had all the swords. Everybody had a different weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, it was weapon fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I fucked with all those kind of fighting games because that, like Marvel Comco, that was my shit, man.
You know what would be cool? A motherfucker with a nunchuck and a fucking sword. And doing all...
Try to do both of them.
Doing both at the same time, like motherfucking Leonardo and Michelangelo split the two and put them back together.
They got that movie Ronin's supposed to be coming out. Supposed to be
Raphael.
only one Ninja Turtle. No, it's Michelangelo, the one that survived. He's the only one that survived.
I thought it was Raphael.
Michelangelo was the one that survived. And
Michelangelo's always my favorite.
mine was always Donatello.
Cowabunga, dude.
Fucking yeah. What was the other one? I told you about the zombie movie that sucked. Because me and my homies, we were talking about shit yesterday about, like, you know, because he said, he was like, man, him and his wife were trying to figure out what was the movie they watched that sucked. And they were talking about, I said it was Weapons. I know it had to be. He was like, yeah, that bullshit. Like, I didn't even understand what happened. I said, man, me and the wife didn't understand what happened either.
I'm glad you made it such a clear, like, spoiler full review for me. 'Cause
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, every time I see it come up, I'm like, yeah, no way, dude.
The favorite part of the whole movie was at the end. When them kids ripped that bitch apart. That shit would, I mean, them kids, man, ran through houses. They was running through drywall, windows, not missing a beat, beeline that whole bitch the whole way. But the whole shit still didn't make sense.
Yeah, it sounds pretty terrible. So I try not to watch movies unless I'm like pretty sure they're gonna be good. Like I want to watch Spider Noir. That looks dope.
That is good.
You were saying that was
is good. And watching in black and white.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm gonna go back and watch it in color just to see what the difference is, because I enjoy
the comic
is black and white. Yeah, the whole universe is all black and white.
And they didn't throw in a splash of red or anything.
Nope.
Like Schindler's List.
It stays black and white the entire time, yo. And it's cool as fuck. I fuck with it. You know what I mean? Because that Nicolas Cage, his overacting, is made for that character.
It works for that.
It works for that fucking part. You know, and the time frame, that it takes place is like the 1920s, you know what I'm saying? So it fits that era.
Yeah, gangster shit.
Yeah, it fits perfectly, you know what I mean? Even when he first
Tommy guns and gangster shit.
When he first gets the abilities, and he shoots. That Spider-Man has a gun.
Cars with open windows and shit.
Shit like that, yeah.
And like,
so if you check it out, let me know what you think of it.
Running 55 miles an hour, wide open.
I know you're not like a comic book guy anyway, you know what I mean? So
I've read some stuff, but I've never been like a deep comic book guy.
Yeah.
But I like a good story in a movie form.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And it plays out like some old 90s.
8 episodes?
It's like 8 episodes. It's like, and it plays out like an old 90s kind of 20s vibe.
A detective novel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a detective novel with a motherfucker with Spider-Man powers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, that's what it looked like to me.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, see? I can dig it. Yeah, do they talk like that? Are they gangsters like that?
He does a couple times in there.
Nice.
He does a couple times in there.
Look here, you see?
Because it's funny. He does it a couple times just to, like, you know, change up some shit, throw people off. But yeah,
well, I like those old detective novels. That shit's dope.
Yeah. I fuck with it. Like, I'm gonna take the kids to go see the new Spider-Man when that joint drop. When I get them for vacation, I'm gonna take them.
That looks like it might be good. What do you think about Doom coming?
Doom 3?
Doom.
Oh, Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Oh, that one? Yeah, I'm ready for that shit.
Avengers
Doomsday?
Yeah.
Like,
with everybody. It looks like it's got all multiversed out. Everybody timeline.
It's got all the, everybody.
Is it gonna have Mr. Flame and motherfucking,
it's gonna have everybody, because Avengers already got everybody.
Yeah, but it's gonna have, this was the same dude.
Endgame or whatever had fucking damn near everybody in that bitch.
Fantastic Four that was Captain America.
Oh, no. They had him. They killed him in Deadpool.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like these multiverses, dude, you can burn people up.
I don't know how they're gonna do the multiverse, because they got Fantastic Fours in there.
Is Deadpool gonna be in Doomsday?
No, I don't think he's in this one. Because they did like a Comic-Con joint where he's like, yo, I'm not in this motherfucker yet. You know what I mean? So there may be a time where he's going to be in it, but this was where Kang was supposed to be at, where Jonathan Majors' character, Doomsday wasn't supposed to come for another couple of years.
Oh, so when what's his name? When
Disney said fuck Jonathan Majors, all right, we got to move this up now.
Holy shit, 3 hours?
What, Doomsday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't want to watch that in the theater.
But see, I'm a Marvel motherfucker, so I'll sit in that motherfucker with no problem, because that's just me. You know what I mean? I want to see how they do this shit, if they're going to be able to get back on track, because they've been disappointing this past phase they had.
I think that what I've like heard about it, it seems that they're going to be like throwing back a bunch of shit, a whole bunch of Easter egg, old school, like a lot of crossover stuff. So like if you've been in
Patrick Stewart in
any of the movies,
it's coming back
got
as Professor X.
Full X-Men stuff.
The
Avengers,
they're bringing
X-Men,
the mutants.
Everybody.
Fantastic Four.
Everybody's going to be there.
Thunderbolts. Avengers.
Doesn't Doom come from Fantastic Four?
Yeah, Doom is Fantastic Four's like
primary
enemy. Yeah. That's where he comes in at.
Well, and like I just want them to have MF Doom music playing.
They might throw something up in there.
Would that not be awesome?
They might do something up in there.
Shout out MF Doom. Rest in peace.
Fucking but yeah, the Spider-Man, I know I'm gonna fuck with that one, because Punisher is supposed to be in that joint. John what's the fuck? Bernthal. He's supposed to be in it. They're bringing the Hulk back in that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot looking like it's happening in that one.
And Daredevil, I think they got to break him out of jail in that one, because he's got to fight the Hand in that bitch too. So.
And he's a primary character in all that Punisher shit, right?
Yeah. So Punisher and Daredevil, they're hand to hand, and they're all in the same universe together.
What channel's all that Daredevil shit or Punisher shit on?
Disney.
Oh, because I feel like I watched some of it on Netflix.
Used to be on Netflix, but then Netflix, I forgot what happened, because Netflix, I guess, gave all that shit to Disney, and then Disney put it on hold for a while. Like they didn't
because like
release it. Disney didn't release it all back out again because you had the Punisher, Daredevil.
Oh, that comes out next month or next week.
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Defenders, and what's that bitch? Jessica Jones, the strong ass lawyer, private eye bitch. They had all that on Netflix, and Netflix did a good job with all of those. But then I guess Disney was like, well, fuck.
Disney bought the rights to all the Marvel stuff.
To all the characters.
So that came
with it. And then Disney basically locked them down. So you couldn't watch them anywhere until Disney, it was like 2 years later, Disney was like, all right, here y'all go. Guess what? We have them now. Bitch, we knew you were going to get them. Like, why the fuck just put them out there on your platform already? But I guess having to transfer all that shit and whatever the red tape was.
Well, there might have been 3 years or whatever we get residuals if anything you run.
Yeah.
And then so they just don't run it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
so
fine.
I don't know what it was, but yeah.
We'll just fault it like we do with all our Disney shit.
All of that shit's on Disney, and they were like, you know, like the Punisher's new joint that he did, the hour and a half long joint that he got. Disney learned that if you do a movie and it's rated R, motherfuckers are gonna go look at that shit. If you do that shit how it's supposed to be done, like Deadpool and Wolverine cutting each other up and shooting each other, people are gonna watch because that's what they want to see. That was in the comics. Do it like the comics, not all this fluffy bullshit that you want to put out there and this shit that you're pushing to have fucking
use the source
material. No offense to the letter community, but all these fucking characters that are now gay that were never gay to begin with, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, just do the shit from the source material. That's what motherfuckers fell in love with Marvel when they came to the screen to begin with. Like, oh shit, you're doing the shit like in the comics.
Well, that's like how the Spider-Man movies popped so hard.
Yeah,
they were like the comics to people.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I don't have to read my comic. I can go to the movie and actually watch what I've read.
Well, they get you too because they throw that adult shit. Like, what was a multiverse? Did the multiverse start out with Wu-Tang or fucking Method Man or something like that?
Huh?
Or no, that was the Miles jump.
What? Oh, you talking about fucking
the
you
first
talking about the
multiverse,
soundtrack?
The first multiverse joint, I guess.
Miles Morales.
Yeah.
He's talking about the cartoon joint.
Cartoon joint. They started out with fucking Wu-Tang or some shit. I think
the soundtrack because Miles Morales is a fucking black Puerto Rican in fucking the Bronx. So you're gonna have Wu-Tang, and his soundtrack isn't gonna be.
But they try to get
like
adults
Peter Parker.
too. It's not just like them kid movies are not just kid movies. You know what I mean? They try to grab the adult.
Well, they gotta give you guys something to watch too while you're stuck in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
They gotta give you something subversive to giggle at.
What they do is because the generations that know these characters read comic books. These kids don't read comic books. So,
but this should be a good pivot to get them to read comics.
Exactly.
Right? Hey, look,
because
like
comic books now are coming back in style all of a sudden. Like, they're opening new comic book stores
analog
all
resurgence,
over.
Dude. I'm telling you, there's an analog resurgence.
That too. Like,
people are putting out music on vinyl, like.
Yes, you got records coming back out. People are fucking buying DVDs and shit again. You know what I'm saying? Like all kinds of shit. Motherfuckers like, no. Why am I paying?
Recognize that people can take it away from you.
Yeah.
If you don't have it in a hard copy.
Because
that's why vinyl's great. Because
there was something I was watching. I can't remember which one of these fucking things it was on, and I was just scrolling to see what movies were on there. I think, and it said like leaving soon. Like it was an old school movie. I can't remember what it was. I was like, damn, I know I got that on DVD, so I don't really care. But I'm like, if a motherfucker wanted to watch it, you got to watch it now because then they're gonna take us off of this platform.
Yeah.
Then you got to figure out where
it is and pay for it there if you want to see it there. Or just buy it outright and they'll sell you a digital copy that they could go in later and change a word.
All that shit.
Or edit like a whole scene out if they want.
Yeah.
You know, it's just disgusting.
Because I was like even with TV shows.
I'm an artist, man.
They were playing a scene from a different world. And they had the original, and then they had the one that was on like whatever streaming that different world is on, and they changed some shit up. I'm like, damn, I wonder if I would notice something from a show that I haven't seen in so long if that shit was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was watching Different World the other day on like TV One, you know, with the kids, and my daughter was like, "Dad, what's this?" And I told her what it was about. I'm like, "This is what made me want to go to college, was actually watching this show, because I thought college was like how they
gonna be
was
like a different world.
Yeah, that's what I thought college was gonna be like. I'm like, well, fuck, I can learn shit still and fuck have all kinds of cool shit happening. Yeah, let me go to college then. Let me hit this HBCU up and see what's going on." Didn't tell you about the financial part of shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a lot of them kids in that show are rich kids.
No, they were when the show where it wasn't Kim. Yeah, it was Kim. Went through some financial aid shit that was fucked up.
I'm just thinking of Whitney, and I feel like
Whitney was rich.
I feel like the brother with the glasses and the mustache.
Dwayne Wayne, he wasn't rich.
No, not Dwayne Wayne. The other dude.
Oh, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad was rich.
Money.
Yeah, his dad had money.
That guy had money.
Them two had money.
Yeah.
Because his dad was like the biggest car salesman, whatever the fuck he was. He had bread.
I just remember at least half the primary characters that I remember seemed to be rich.
Nah.
And that was
two of them.
Jasmine and that dude.
Yeah.
And then there was Dwayne Wayne.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade, Freddie, played by Cree Summers. Yeah, Kim, she worked in the pit with what was his name? That was the dude at the pit.
The bald-headed cook dude.
Yeah. Then you had Sinbad, who was the RA, and Jaleesa
Sinbad.
for the RA for the girls.
Yeah.
Denise made her appearance in there a couple times.
So, like, is all this stuff tainted for you? Because it is for me.
What?
Because I like Bill Cosby back in the day.
Oh, no.
All this Bill Cosby stuff.
That doesn't taint that shit for me.
That show is, I think, pretty good.
Yeah.
But the Cosby Show, I have a hard time watching.
I still watch the Cosby Show.
You know, like,
The
whenever
shit
it's
that
on,
Bill
I'm always
Cosby
just
did.
like, it always makes me think of Bill, like, sneaking around and
Now, if I go back and watch the shit that Bill Cosby did with Sidney Poitier, the movies he had with them, that's the Bill I can see.
That shit is fucked up.
That Bill I can see doing shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I watch that shit, it's like, okay, I can see him doing some shit during that time period. But the Cosby Show, nah.
Like he's reformed. You feel like he reformed himself.
You know what I mean?
I don't think he had in real life. He just was running that image.
He might have calmed down.
I got to be a good guy
After he
now.
wound out enough, you know what I mean?
No flim for him.
And had a couple, depositions already on him, you know what I mean? He probably did calm down by the time the Cosby Show came around.
I don't think he had any depositions until, like, 2012 or whenever it was that all that shit really started cracking off.
It's like the same shit when people are like, okay, so I can watch the Cosby Show because the Cosby Show isn't like listening to R. Kelly's music.
The Cosby Show's too wholesome. Looking at this man that I know is a mad scientist of rapists. I'm like, I can't look at this man deal with these 5-year-old children and be this sweetheart when I know he's gonna rape that little girl when she grows up. This is fucked up.
That shit doesn't click with me like that. Like with R. Kelly's music, I can't listen to it because I know the story behind the songs. Like, I know which girl was locked up.
See, but
that he had locked up because when he made the song about the bitch being locked up.
See, but that to me is the problem when I'm watching the Cosby Show. I know that this guy, like, pretty much, it's like irrefutable, was like a mad rapist.
But it's like
he was like a serial rapist.
It's like, can you watch a Weinstein movie knowing that the motherfucking director of this motherfucker...
Yes, because he wasn't the director, he was the producer. He put up money and then let the directors do their thing. So Quentin Tarantino was not necessarily always working hand in hand with this guy while he was making his movies. That guy would just say, here's $20 million or here's $40 million, go make the movie. And then Quentin would go put the whole thing together himself and make it. Producers really, like, they might have some, like, creative engagement with what's going on creatively, but they're pretty much giving money. That's what gets their name on it. Like, they're funding it. So that I don't do the same with. If Harvey Weinstein was in the movie, then I would have a bigger problem with it, because I'd be like, oh, look at this grimy motherfucker. Like, he's up to no good. You know what I mean? Like, it takes me out of it when they're that deviant. in like their regular life, like to other people.
Yeah, like
you could be a crazy person and do wild and crazy things, that's fine. But when you're like literally like doing what you want with people that are not even necessarily conscious, like, all right, bro, I don't want to watch you be wholesome with 7-year-olds in this movie, in this TV show I used to watch when I was a kid.
Like, I can still do Cosby Show. I can do fucking Fat Albert. I can even do Cosby's old stand-up shit. You know what I mean? Like,
he's a great stand-up.
Talking about fucking Spanish flying bitches and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was already saying shit.
Well, that's why it didn't surprise me, but like it did shock me.
See, I wasn't shocked because, like I said, I watched him when he was acting with Sidney Poitier.
It's the volume.
And a lot of fucking the movies with Sidney Poitier. Cosby plays a douche. He is a douchebag in a lot of those movies. He's the motherfucker that's like, because him and Sidney Poitier, they're like the buddies in the movie. Sidney Poitier is like the gentleman, the reformer. Bill Cosby's the bad boy.
Yeah, it's a good cop, bad cop thing.
Yeah, Bill Cosby's like supposedly like the Mike Lowry. You know what I mean? He's the playboy. He's the one that got all the bitches. He's the one that's gonna make the shit happen. You know what I mean? He know where the party at. You want to get some yayo, holla at Bill right there. You know what I mean? So when the shit
detective movies, because I've seen clips where Bill Cosby says some crazy shit.
There's some are detective buddy movies. I think they're all pretty much detectives.
It seemed to me like a detective story.
Yeah, I think they're both detectives, and like all the movies that they've been in together.
Private eye partners working together.
Yeah.
In like a series of films.
Yeah.
And Bill Cosby's kind of rapey.
Yeah,
in those movies.
There's a scene where the motherfucking girl.
That doesn't help because since this shit happened, I now see those clips and I go, oh man, I don't even want to watch this movie now, even though it's got Sidney Poitier, the great Sidney Poitier, right? The phenom. Like, that's a great actor right there. Like, if he's in something, it's probably pretty good. But then when it's Bill Cosby and he's like telling some woman, like, what if we don't wait for you to ask us to?
Yeah.
Or some shit. Like, he says some real inappropriate shit in one of these shows.
It's a whole scene. It's at the bar.
Especially for him.
He's sitting at the bar.
Yeah, he's sitting at a bar.
And the girl's like, he's like, well, how about I just go ahead and rape you? And she goes, yes, sure, let's go and do this. Okay, and then they disappear. They go into the room. You know what I mean?
Fucking crazy, man.
Different times.
Definitely different times.
That was early 70s, late 60s, early 70s right there happening right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, with that said,
Jesus.
You ain't never seen none of it, have you?
I think we got to bring this episode to a close.
I don't even want to talk.
The Jewish shutdown on this. And I agree. This is horrible.
Oh, man.
Despicable, I say. Man, despicable, I say. But yeah, with that said, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck multiverse are they in?
Man, in a multiverse, Bill Cosby rapes tonight all kinds of women. Man, he's drugs them and sticks his dick in them.
Alive.
It's called penis pudding.
Penis pudding.
I'm putting my penis pudding where it ain't penicillin. Penicillin. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this foolishness.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Check out old episodes, new episodes, like, share, subscribe, as Mike was about to say, my bad.
It's all good.
I'll be stepping on words.
Ain't no thing.
I'm all out of whack.
It's all grits and gravy.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, be nice to people that look like you, be nice to people that don't look like you. Don't be a dick.
Little bits by little bits, ladies and gentlemen, keep moving forward.
Yep, keep grinding on the things you're trying to get done, because that's how it's going to get done.
We believe in you.
Don't forget, we love you very, very much.
Love y'all.
And wish you nothing but the best.
All day, every day.
Peace be with you.
Gone.